Hey everyone, Happy New Year's from Canada. I'm Les McDonald and this is The Matter and the Fact. Let's get to it. I just want to start this program off. It is January 1st, 2025, and my heart goes out to all the folks in New Orleans and my friends in the United States. You did not deserve to have this happen last night this morning during a wonderful New Year's celebration, and I can speak for all Canadians to say that we are thinking of you and sending all of our love, our prayers, and our wishes. I want to talk today about Fox News' obsession with a fellow Canadian, which I tempted not to call him for much longer, Kevin OLeary.
It could be the greatest merger of all time, or a geopolitical disaster. Shark Tank star and proud Canadian Kevin OLeary is making a stunning claim that half of his fellow Canucks, that's about 20 million people, are open to President-elect Trump's bold pitch to make Canada the 51st state. And he's even willing to go down to Mar-a-Lago to help broker the deal. So
Kevin OLeary thinks that Fox and friends like him. And, you know, Kevin is selling Canada out. He's misrepresenting the fact that, you know, he tried to say that over 44 or 45% of Canadians are interested in having a dialogue about becoming the 51st state.
What are you hearing? Is this for real? What are you hearing from people up there?
More than half of Canadians, there's 41 million of them, want to know more, want to understand what the proposal really is, because the concept of an economic union has been bandied around for 40 years.
Bullshit, Kevin. First of all, Kevin's been on Fox a lot, and he thinks that Fox are his friends. They are not. Here's just a couple of clips of what Fox News actually thinks of Kevin.
He said that half of Canadians would support this. I don't know where he gets that figure from.
Yeah, I have a lot of issues with them saying stars from Shark Tank. Like, they're just rich guys making people grovel for money, Shark Tank. I don't see a lot of stardom in that. That's
shots fired.
They're never going to become part of the United States. If anything, all this does is maybe make the economy bigger. I think Kevin OLeary is right about that. He's seeing this in a purely business way of being like, look at all this economic impact. But it's never going to happen. And I will say this, though, about Canada, to their credit, they have the better side of Niagara Falls than the United States.
I think both of his watches are broken. Like, okay, there's no 50% of Canadians willing to give up Canada. I mean, that's their country. They'd be like 50% of Americans being like, oh, yeah, we want to join the other side. It almost sounds like a promotional stunt for a TV show.
On average, 84% of Canadians do not want to become a 51st state. Now, there is that maybe 16%, but it's not 16 because there's also undecided. So 12%, let's say, are crazy enough to say, yeah, I'd like to join the United States. That is not 45%, Kevin. And, you know, for somebody who's on the Shark Tank who thinks he's an amazing entrepreneur, your math is pretty off. I think someone should talk to your accountant. So Canada is broken up into provinces and territories. This poll does not include the territories, unfortunately, but let's just see. Atlantic Canada, 90% say no. We do not want to become a 51st state. Quebec, 83% say no. Ontario, 84% say no. Now we're starting to move more in the conservative western direction. Manitoba and Saskatchewan, 79% say no. Now we're in Alberta. Now, I spent around 32 years of my life in Alberta. I grew up in a small town in Alberta, which is why I like to call myself a middle-of-the-fence guy. I'm a little bit liberal. I'm a little bit conservative. And you know what? My opinions go back and forth based on the facts, based on what's in front of me, not on an ideology. So Alberta, one of the most conservative, if not the most conservative provinces in Canada, 74% say no. That's pretty high for a province as conservative as Alberta. So Kevin thinks he can represent the rest of Canada.
Good friend Kevin OLeary, who joins us this morning. Kevin, we understand you're headed to Mar-a-Lago to meet with President-elect Trump. You have said you want to broker a deal that will create an economic union between the U.S. and Canada. Is that right?
Yes, there's no reason to be fighting. We've been talking about this for decades, and I think the time is right. What I did, and I've been doing this now for about 48 hours, and I'm getting a lot of feedback from the Canadian public. I enjoy a very large social media following there. So I said to them, look, what deal do you want?
So Kevin thinks he can represent the rest of Canada. He's saying right now that he will be glad to go down to Mar-a-Largo and negotiate on behalf of Canadians becoming the 51st state. No, Kevin, you are not, that is not your job, okay? Why don't you go back to Shark Tank or whatever the hell your show's called, because I've never watched it. Second of all, quit selling out our country. This is serious. What you're doing is you're helping stir the pot. You're helping create this narrative that is not true. And here on The Matter and the Fact, we like to deal with the matter and the facts. You know, I have to say this, one thing that really pisses me off is how when OLeary's asked about Canada becoming the 51st state, he says that Canada is rich in resources.
Unlimited resources, unlimited power, unlimited gas, unlimited water, unlimited lumber, unlimited everything.
Yeah. I'm not sure how joining the U.S. is a benefit to us if we're the ones who are rich in resources, Kevin. What you're saying is, well, this Canadian interviewed on the street said it better than I can.
Despite what Canada would like to think of itself, I think we're mainly just a resource colony of the United States. I mean, we send most of our resources there.
The Americans purchase more than half of their oil imports from Canada, not from Saudi Arabia, not from other countries. They don't have enough in their own ground to produce the oil that they need. So drill, baby, drill is a fantasy. You're always going to be importing more oil from Canada than you can possibly produce yourself. And don't even get me started on that. We're exporting our crude oil to the US. We're allowing them to refine it. And then we're buying it back at ridiculous prices. And look at the gas prices we have in Canada. Because we're stupid enough to send our raw oil down to the US, have them refine it, and sell it back to us at a higher price. Does that make sense to anybody? Maybe we should talk more about that. Maybe we should talk about building more refineries in this country, refining our own oil and saying, okay, United States of America, if you want to buy our oil, you're going to buy it refined. The way you're selling us our own oil that we send to you, that you send back to us. So what Donald Trump is going to have to learn, because it is not going to go the way that he thinks it's going to go, is that you have to be a diplomat, okay? What Donald Trump is going to learn the hard way, I hope not, but he's going to learn it, is that the only way to deal with Canada is through diplomacy. It's to treat us with respect as a good neighbor, as we have done in return to you, okay? Since the Commonwealth of Canada, the United States and Canada have had a great trading relationship. Yes, it's been up and down. We've had tariffs. We've had the free trade agreement. We've had, you know, that's what diplomacy is. That's what it means when you say, I want to buy this or sell this to you, but I respect you as a country. We will never become your 51st state, so you better start getting used to the idea that you're going to have to negotiate with us in good faith. Kevin, quit selling out your country. This is not going to be good for your reputation as a TV star or as a businessman. You are going to be looked at in history, and history is always going to look back in a different way than what your ego is looking at right now. History is going to look at you fairly, and the facts are going to show that you were willing to sell out your fellow Canadians to that orange turd in Mar-a-Largo for profit. Because you clearly do not give two shits about this country. Please hit the like button, please subscribe. It really does help give me the opportunity to keep these videos coming at you. Until next time, this has been Les McDonald, and this has been The Matter and the Fact.